All right, folks. Not necessarily a story time, not necessarily a tip of the day. I had some subscribers that were interested in knowing how Stuntman and I determine if a car is something we would crush, something we would sell, something we would use for parts, etc. A lot of these cars, guys are like, oh my God, that would have been my dream car, and you guys crushed it and you wrecked it and this and that. Well, New York City is very unique in the fact that there's so much going on, so many cars, so much action, yet there is so little space. Now, if I was somewhere in southern New Jersey or Pennsylvania and I had 10 acres, I'd probably keep 90% of these cars and either sell them or use them for parts. There would definitely be a use for a lot of these cars. So don't get me wrong. We're not crazy. But also, a lot of these cars outside of New York City would sell. In New York City, there's so much to choose from. There's so many cars. There's so many dealers. There's so many people selling their cars that unless you have the right car, the right vehicle, it just doesn't sell. It sits around, you sit around with it forever, and you end up giving it away, and you get aggravated that you showed it 40 times. I'll give an example. Let's say like a 2001 Camry. Yeah, somebody will buy it. If the miles are okay, somebody will come along. We say there's an ass for every seat. Not in a bad way, it's just an expression car dealers use. There's an ass for every seat. Now, eventually somebody's gonna come along. Now, do you want to waste your time showing that car 25 times? Or would you rather have a 2009 Camry that you own for $1,500 because some desperado had to get rid of it because he had to pay his mortgage or he had to pay his rent or he had to pay a loan shark that was going to break his fucking kneecaps? Yeah, it happens, okay? That you take and you sell it, especially if the mileage is decent, 100,000 miles, 90,000, 110. That car moves. That car, you put it online for the right money, it's out, it's sold, done, over and out. Now, let's say you had a 2009 Camry that was crashed. That's not necessarily a great parts car. You get a 2012, 13, 14, they're still used as taxi cabs here in New York City. So what happens is, there's a market for those parts. These guys are crashing them all the time. TLC does not let them go down the road. Taxi Limousine Commission. If the car's dented or not running right or whatever the case may be. The batteries, what do you call it? Hybrid batteries are worth a ton of money. Now, I know I have parts guys that are waiting for my stuff. I have guys whose whole yard is full of me and Stuntman's cars. Every single one of their cars is from us. Every one of them. Then there are bigger guys, those are big guys too, but there are huge guys that, they get cars from everywhere. And I bring them the really good stuff. Like, for example, if a car got T-boned, let's say it was a 2010 Sienna, engine's a lot of money, transmission's a lot of money, doors are a lot of money, so it's hit on one side, so it's missing a few doors. Big deal, they don't care. They're going to pay strong for it. And that I could negotiate down because it's blasted. You tell the guy, bro, what are you doing with this car? It's blasted down the side. What are you doing with it? But you could do that. Nah, I'm not doing shit with it. Meanwhile, it's a great parts car. Then you make a phone call. You say, if you see something that's questionable, what could be questionable? Maybe something American. Maybe like a 2009 Dodge Charger, something like that. Hit in the back. So now you got all those nose pieces that are good. You make a phone call. You say, guys, call up your parts guys. Look, I got this car for X amount of money. Could you show me a profit? You don't tell them what you paid, but, you tell them what you'd like to get for it. You could do it even before you buy the car. This way, if the guy doesn't want junk money and you got to negotiate, you know where you could go. How high you could go and what you could ask for the vehicle. And, you call around. Then you could go on to different websites, parts websites, and see what motors are going for, what transmissions are going for, all that kind of stuff. There's so much you could do with each car, but sometimes you look and you're like, damn, I wish this was 10 years ago because this car would have sold. A lot of these cars don't sell, man, because you could go and get yourself a brand new Toyota Camry, no money down, and $229 a month. You need me? You got to buy a car from me for $3,000-$4,000? Now, there's another market, the cheapie market. The cheapie market means that you're going to go out there and you're going to buy cars for a couple of $100. You're going to put them out for $1,500, $1,200, $1,300. There's always people that talk you down to $1,000. You make $800 all day long. Worst customers in the world. You sell a guy a $500 car, you marry this guy. He comes over, the windshield wipers are dirty, they don't work. There's a little rust on my quarter panel I didn't see. You're like, dude, you just got a $500 car, bro. That doesn't exist. Leave. You got to abuse the people a little bit. The other thing is, in New York City and the state of New York, you can't just sell these cars. You can't. There's a lemon law. They'll murder you. You'll sell somebody a car for $1,000, and the fucking DMV will make you pay $5,000 to fix it. You get killed. So that's another problem you have to worry about. But it becomes like second nature. Like, in other words, how do I explain it? Like, if any of you ever played baseball, okay, you know that when a ball comes your way, on the infield, and there's a man on second and third, you want to protect home plate. You don't want him going to home. So you know that you could do that. Or if you get the guy and you peg him at home plate, and then you just know what to do. It's second nature because you're doing it so long. But, sometimes we make mistakes, very rarely, because we're careful. You don't toss your money around, and, you're not a speculator. You know what I mean? You're investing your money, and you're going to get it back. You're not out there going, oh, maybe we'll make on that. Maybe we'll. No, you can't do it that way, because you lose on half, you win on half, you end up breaking even. You're in business to make money. But, yeah, a lot of these cars, I sit on the line at the scrapyard, and I look at a lot of these cars, and I say to myself, oh, my God, what we could have did with this car, what this car's worth, etc. It's just crazy. Sometimes it's just, It's a crazy business, man. It's a crazy business, and this is how we determine what we're going to do with the car. You look at it, sometimes you just know. Sometimes if it's a question mark. Sometimes we were going to crush a car, and we're like, whoa. Like, I had a Jeep, a square Cherokee. One of those, the older ones. I think it's been around since like 1982. It's like I think it was a 2001. Had 111,000 miles. I pulled it off the line. One of the guys was going to crush it. I'm like, no, what the fuck are you doing? I said, get that car the fuck off the line. We got $2,000 for the car. You know what I mean? It would have been crushed and brought peanuts. But listen, it's fly by the seat of your pants. You never know what's going to come down the pipe, and you got to be ready for whatever's coming. Anyway, I hope you guys understand. Any questions, just ask me in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, folks. Nothing to hide here on Neutral Drop.